Hello there everyone and welcome, it is Niran here, and today it is time for yet another FIFA 17 experiment here on the channel. Today we're going to be doing something, it's going to be another league format sort of based one. Today we're going to be looking at what would happen if only teams from their respective capitals of their countries played in one league. So all the teams from across Europe and some from across the world as well, they are based in their country's respective capital city. And all of those teams are going to be competing in one league, and we're going to see who comes out on top. So the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs from London, we've got Paris Saint-Germain, of course, Real Madrid, Roma, some very good teams, and also some sort of second division teams as well. So it's going to be quite close up and down the league table. But if you go on to enjoy this video, then make sure to slap a like on it and subscribe if you are new to the channel for similar content like this and more experiments in the future. But for now, let's take a look at the teams involved. So here we are, it's Capital Ting. I know, the last experiment I didn't put Ting at the end, and everyone was raving about it in the comments section, so it's returned. The meme has returned. Capital Ting is what this league is going to be called. And you can see the teams here in the background. First of all, we've got Ajax, of course, as I mentioned, based in Amsterdam, the Dutch capital. We've got Arsenal from North London and Atletico Madrid as well, of course, one of the really strong sides in this league. After that, we've got Belenenses of Portugal, who are based in the Portuguese the Portuguese capital of Lisboa. Then we've got Hertha Berlin and CSKA Moscow, one of three teams based in Moscow for this experiment. Chelsea and Crystal Palace from London, Hearts of Edinburgh, so representing Scotland in this experiment, and Lazio, the sworn enemies of Roma, who we'll get onto in a moment. Legia Warsaw of Poland, that's the Polish sort of representative in this experiment, and then Lokomotiv Moscow. Paris Saint-Germain are one of the real favourites in this, along with the likes of Real Madrid and Chelsea. We'll get onto Real Madrid in a moment. Then we've got Anderlecht, who are based in Brussels of Belgium, and Rayo Vallecano from Madrid, just ahead of Real Madrid, of course. The Galacticos are going to be strong favourites, I feel, for this experiment and for winning the league overall. Then we've got Red Star FC, who are in the second division of French football and are based in Paris. Then we've got Roma, SL Benfica, who are of course based in Lisbon, along with Sporting CP, the same for them. Spartak Moscow, Tottenham Hotspur of North London, and finally Union Berlin from the second tier of German football, as well as West Ham, who are at the bottom as well. I didn't clock that they were there, from East London. There's your 24 teams. But what I want to know from you guys is, who do you think will come out on top in this Capital Ting league? Will it be the likes of Real Madrid, Chelsea? Will there be a shock team to come in and spoil the party, the likes of maybe an Arsenal or an Atletico Madrid or Tottenham Hotspur, who aren't rated quite as highly? Drop it in the comment section though, what you think will happen in this experiment. Right, so now, a moment ago, in terms of this video, I asked you guys what your predictions were going to be for this experiment. I cannot imagine many of you said that Benfica would be top by 8 points at the halfway stage of the season, ahead of Lazio, who are 5 points clear of Atletico Madrid. Now, I'm not saying Benfica and Lazio aren't good teams, but they're definitely not the ones I expected to be occupying the top two after 23 games. Benfica of Portugal have almost gone unbeaten in the first half of the season, only one loss. Lazio, as I mentioned, doing an equally good job in second. I think both of them are 4.5-star teams. So really, looking at the rest of the competition in this league, they should probably be sat 7th or 8th, maybe where Roma and Hertha Berlin are currently occupying. So for them to be out in front and by a distance is a bit of a shock. Atletico Madrid, I think, are the first 5-star team as far as this experiment is concerned, doing a decent job in 3rd. Chelsea and Real Madrid, I guess, doing a solid job in 4th and 5th, both on 40 points, both joint as well on 13 as a goal difference. We've got Spurs sat in 6th at the moment, the second side of London at the moment. Then we've got Roma and Hertha Berlin, as I mentioned, in 7th and 8th, ahead of CSKA Moscow, and Crystal Palace doing a pretty decent job as well in P10 at the moment. And Arsenal way down in 11th, completely underperforming. But then again, they're only 6 points off 3rd, which isn't that much to gain in 23 more games. West Ham are currently sat 12th, from Ajax in 13th, underperforming just a little bit. Paris Paris Saint-Germain, another team doing way below what you would expect them to do. And here is what the rest of the table is looking at. We've got Anderlecht, Sporting, Spartak Moscow, Rayo Vallecano and Hearts rounding out the top 20, with Belenenses, Legia Warsaw, Red Star and Union Berlin down towards the bottom. Sporting have got a side that's almost as good as Benfica, and there's 16 positions separating them, which is utterly ridiculous. But Benfica on top after the halfway stage from Lazio in second. Can these two sides hold on to what would be a ridiculously surprising top two? The season has come to a close. Let's see who's won. Capital Ting. Have Lazio and Benfica been able to carry on the incredible job they did in the first half of the season, or have the regulars, the big boys, caught them up by the end of it? Well, they've bottled it. They've completely, well, they haven't completely bottled it in fairness, but it is Chelsea who have come out on top in the end. So 95 points accumulated for them. Just a better second half of the season, to be quite honest with you. A lot of the teams around them faltered in the second half of the season. Spurs and Atletico Madrid also made some progress through the order, taking third and fourth respectively, but Benfica did still manage to come second, which is still a big overachievement for them. So although they've bottled actually winning Capital Ting, they haven't actually won the league, but they've still done a really good job. I mean, second place is ridiculously high up. Real Madrid in fifth. To be honest, I think they've got the best squad in this tournament, so that is a bit of an underachievement. Only 7 points off the title, so to come fifth is pretty harsh on them, I guess. They weren't that far off the winners. Lazio were second at the halfway stage, slipped to sixth, but still they've managed to come out on top of Roma. They've managed to beat their sworn enemies from the city of Rome, so they've still done a decent job there. Arsenal managed to recover from 11th to 7th, so a decent recovery, but not great still for them. Roma, Paris and West Ham rounding out the top 10. Again, Paris Saint-Germain, better second half of the season, but still underachieving quite badly. Moving beyond the top 10, and we've got Crystal Palace, who remain in that sort of area on 67 points. Decent result for them. Ahead of Sporting, Hertha Berlin, CSKA Moscow and Anderlecht. Ajax didn't have a great time of things, to be honest with you. 17th place. The bottom four is Hearts, Legia Warsaw, Union Berlin and Red Star, who were overtaken by the German side in the second half of the season. So it's Chelsea who come out on top in terms of the league standings, but let's take a little look at some of the player stats, and starting off with the top scorers, arguably it's a Chelsea player who's come out on top of that as well, although joint with Real Madrid's Cristiano Ronaldo. Two players I think you would expect to see realistically at the top of the top scorers list. Cristiano Ronaldo and Eden Hazard of Chelsea both getting 22 goals, followed closely by Balde Diao Keita of Lazio, the left winger. Very good job from him, 21 goals. I'm sure that was instrumental in Lazio doing so well in this experiment. We've got Jonas and Edinson Cavani rounding out the top 5, with Ari from Lokomotiv Moscow, and then Alexis Sanchez, Christian Eriksen, Felipe Anderson as well from Lazio, and then Diego Costa. The rest of the top 15 is Willian, Edin Dzeko, Welbeck, Griezmann and Vazquez from Real Madrid, all getting 15 goals each. Then Mo Salah, Salomon Kalou and Andre Ayew, and you can see the rest there of the top 25 as well. Eden Hazard, I'm sure, will be a strong contender for player of the competition realistically, because not only was he joint top of the top scorers list, he also got the most assists in this league as well, with 12, ahead of Kevin Gamero and Manuel Lanzini, the only other two players to get into double figures. The rest of the top 10 is Christian Eriksen, Parolo from Lazio, as well as Pizzi and Raul Jimenez from Benfica, Amin Younes of Ajax, Kamara from Belenenses and Thomas Partey from Atletico Madrid. Cristiano Ronaldo also helped himself to 6 assists across the season. We've got Aaron Ramsey as well in the top 15, then Dost, El Shaarawy, Javier Pastore and Lucas Steinjos, Alessandro Florenzi getting 6 as well, and Balde Diao Keita, also Gonzalo Guedes, the youngster, and Kasper Dolberg, another one of the younger players in this tournament, getting 6, and the top 25 rounded out by the legend himself, Totti from Roma. And in terms of clean sheets, it's becoming pretty apparent why Lazio did so well. A ridiculous amount of goals from Balde Diao Keita and a ridiculous amount of clean sheets from Marchetti, their goalkeeper. 17 clean sheets the total for him, with 16 going to Edison of Benfica. The rest of the top 5 completed by Jan Oblak, Jahrstein from Hertha Berlin and Hugo Lloris from Tottenham. We've got Kevin Trapp, Adrian from Real Madrid. What did I say, Real Madrid? I saw Real Madrid on the screen, I saw something, or I was thinking of Real Madrid. Adrian wishes he played for Real Madrid, but instead he plays for West Ham. We've got Igor Akinfeyev as well as Thibaut Courtois and Wojciech Szczesny rounding out the top 10. Then Petr Cech, Rui Patricio, Mondonda, Hugo Ventura and Guilherme. And once again, you can see the rest of the goalkeepers who managed to get some clean sheets across this season, rounding out the top 25. So that then brings an end to Capital Ting and the end of this experiment. You can see the team of the tournament in the background. Edison somehow gets in instead of Marchetti, who got more clean sheets. I don't know how that works. We've got Platanar of Berlin, David Luiz and Aspi from Chelsea, as well as Semedo from Benfica. I don't know which, I think is that Ruben Semedo? Not entirely sure, or Nelson. I can't quite remember which one plays for Benfica and which one plays for Sporting. After that, we've got Balde de Alkeita, Pizzi of Benfica, Partey of Atletico Madrid, Felipe Anderson of Lazio, and then Ari and Diego Costa are the strikers, so somehow neither Cristiano Ronaldo nor Eden Hazard getting in that. And with that, to be honest, with this stupidity from FIFA, we're going to end things up pretty swiftly. I hope you've enjoyed this video and this experiment. Leave a like if you did, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. In fact, don't even leave a like. Slap a like on the video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. You can leave a comment as well if you want, and also make sure to leave some suggestions for experiments you'd like to see in the future. You can now also follow me on Twitter. My handle is on the screen. It is @theofficialfng, and links to it are in the description. But it has been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a wonderful day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.
Come to the babe looking like gold, made this with Kurt Angle boots on. And I don't wear the boot on, but they got normal shoes on. You're the like yo with the shoe from, get them to the yo Uncle Jar. I ain't got a flex on no one, I'm the original Don. Come to the babe looking like gold, made this with Kurt Angle boots on. And I don't wear